there was one of my favorite kind of camping-esque moments was actually it was the one that me and you did, Dana, where there was one morning where or well, one night me and Dana like made an agreement. We're like we're both gonna just pack up whatever we can fit in one backpack each. That was our deal. And this man managed to squeeze a fucking whole walk into his backpack.
I love those military packs.
But it fit within the rules, so I there was we couldn't argue. It was if you could fit it in the bag, it could come in, and he zipped it shut. That was the craziest part.
You couldn't like attach it to the backpack. It had to be in it.
Yeah,
Well, see, I smartened up near the end, and we fucking. That's what I did. So.
yeah. But
'Cause I
then
would definitely like take like a sleeping roll or a sleeping bag and like tie it to the bottom of my bag.
well, that's I
So
think
could
I
put
had
stuff
my
inside of it.
I had my yoga mat tied to the outside of my bag, I think, and my sleeping or my hammock tent. But so we
Yeah.
load up our bags the night before, and then his dad had to go into work, so he was gone from essentially he left at like 5 in the morning, and got back at like 5, 6 at night. So
Yeah.
we wake up in the morning. It's like cold out, raining slash snowing, and dark, like pitch black. And me and Dana just load up. Don't even get in the truck. Just jump in the truck bed with both our backpacks. Get ripped down to this lake. I'm not gonna say the name of it, but we just get ripped down to this lake. Jump out. His dad drives off. We hike down in. You have to like.
Wait. So did you just like basically hitchhike? Like did you sneak into the back of the truck or did
Oh,
he
no.
take
No,
you?
he knew he was taking us.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you guys just like randomly hopped in and just like hid. And
That would have
like,
been
bailed out.
that would have
Would've been
been
way cooler.
yeah, that would have made us way fucking cooler. But no, he knew.
XM.
Yeah.
Guy.
And so we like hike into the lake, and then you have to cross kind of this like little kind of it's not I don't want to say it's like a canyon because it's not quite that big, but it's like this little
It's like a valley.
yeah, but it's really small. It's like the one cliff drops down like probably like 15 feet when the water's low, and like 10
Yeah.
feet when the water's high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of
It's
like where
about-
that story I was saying. It's like about the same like height
Mm.
where we jump off, and it was
Mhm.
clay, so it would not hurt as much. But
And then
Yeah.
we cross this like little like rock slash log bridge, and we make our way up the other side and start walking down like the edge of the lake because we want to find a place to like set up camp for the day. But if other people come to the lake during the day, we didn't want to be like right in their way. It was kind of we want to do this kind of like as like a challenge, kind of like isolated out in the woods, do our thing.
Yeah.
So we find this spot, and right away we have to like start setting up camp, and it's again like it's cold and it's wet, which are the two worst things.
yeah,
And it's like the wind is blowing and it's raining, so we're like
It was even snowing at the beginning there.
yeah. And so we're
Like, I think we showed up at like 4:30 or something around that time.
yeah, it was dark, and so we immediately were starting to get wet. Like it was we needed to get fire going and get heat generated. And the worst part was because it was so wet out, all our wood sources were wet, all the leaves were wet, all the everything was wet. So after a while of looking for stuff, we came across birch bark. Like we actually, it was like this rotted birch tree, so you could like pick up the wood and then like kind of just like shake it, and all the stuff on the inside would fall out, and then you would just have this
I
tube of birch
love
bark.
That. Oh, I love those.
And so we collected a bunch of that and used that to get our fire going. And then once we got the fire going hot enough and got a coal base, you could even kind of just put wet wood on there as long as it wasn't waterlogged.
Yeah.
And
In my opinion, making a fire bark is like the best thing. Just like get a fire going. It's
well,
so
and
great.
birch bark specifically, it's you can have soaking wet birch bark and that shit catches on fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably
'Cause
one of
it's
the
like-
most rewarding fires I've ever made personally. But
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know, that
for
was-
no, for sure.
Bark
it's a
is
special
just
type of warmth, especially in that kind of environment.
bark
Yeah.
is just so
Well-
much better than like small sticks.
Well, it's we wouldn't have like died per se like if we didn't get a fire going that day, but it was one of those situations where like if we were stuck out in the woods on a day like that and if we couldn't get fire going, we wouldn't survive. So like
Yeah.
having that moment of like okay, we have warmth and a way to cook now felt amazing.
Especially during the whole time, it wasn't just like you or I fumbling out in the woods. We were like tag teaming, building the fucking shelters.
Yeah.
That we were staying under. And we originally brought hammocks because we thought it was gonna be like a decent morning, that it wasn't gonna be snowing, and then
Yeah.
turned to rain. Like I
Oh,
don't know
wow.
if we checked the weather network or what, but
Yeah, I don't think
probably
we
not.
did.
Probably not, which is not smart when you're gonna do a spontaneous camping trip.
Well,
I mean,
now
it was
with
close enough to home where we could like run back, I
Bail.
guess. But
Yeah.
not
yeah,
fucking
but we stuck that
kill
shit out.
ourselves. But yeah,
And what
but
we
yeah, we set.
said. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and we set that shit up pretty quick. Had the fire going, and we're able to like dry off, and watching the steam fucking evaporate from our clothes and all that shit.
Yeah.
That was really cool, especially because it was still dark by that time.
Yeah, and then so what we did is because we knew we were gonna just be like out camping, we couldn't really keep track of time or anything. We just told his dad at the end of the day when he's ready to pick us up, come up to where the lake that we are and just like honk your horn a couple times. And when we hear the honk, we'll like hike back over to the like driveway area and
Mm.
we get back out of there. And so we set up like camp. We have kind of like the hammocks hung up as like windbreakers, and like the yoga mats set up as like things to lay on. Which the yoga mats didn't really work because eventually they just started like pooling up water, like
Yeah.
So
and
instead, we made it a slanted roof to like get the kind of like a trough effect.
yeah. And then we had like logs kind of set up on the brim, so you had like something to lean against. And what did we end up cooking and eating that day? I know we both brought trail mix. We had eggs, I think.
We had a few eggs, potatoes. We
Yes,
brought
all
bacon.
those sweet potatoes were so good.
The
Oh.
sweet potatoes, man. Honestly, if you're ever gonna go camping, just fucking bring a sweet potato.
Yeah, we
Love
like
this stuff
slow
so much.
cooked these sweet potatoes in the fire. So by the time we got to it, it was like hot all the way through and just like
Oh
kind of
my
like a
God.
mushy sweet potato. Oh, it was so good. And we had like butter. Of course, we fucking oh, so
How did all this
we
stuff stay cold enough? Was it just that cold out?
oh, it was
Oh
cold.
yeah. It wasn't.
Damn.
Well, it was snowing in the morning, right? So it was
Oh
So
still
yeah, I
coming
guess.
on to.
we
Yeah.
like rammed a bunch of holes in the potato and like stuffed garlic pieces in it.
Ooh. Okay. That
And then
doesn't sound bad.
and then once it was done, we put some butter on it and we had some bacon. Um, and then trail
Yeah,
mix.
we were eating good, man. Fuck, that trail mix was
Honestly,
good too. Had M&Ms and shit.
living up, or yeah, living up in up north where like it's not cold all the time, but it gets pretty cold pretty quickly. Being able to keep all that meat cold, you could just like stuff it in the snow.
Yeah. Oh, well, the winter would be perfect because you could just like
Yeah.
dig a deep enough hole and you have like a freezer.
Yeah, believe it or
Exactly.
not, it's actually easier to camp in the winter because the snow is really insulative.
Yeah, if you
That
know
is
what you're
true.
doing. If somebody doesn't know what they're
Yeah.
doing in the winter, they're fucked. If somebody knows what they're doing in the winter, they're happy.
I mean, I haven't
Yeah.
done a lot of winter camping and a lot of like training in winter camping to know, because like it gets decently cold here, but like it doesn't, and it snows when we go camping a lot, but like it's
Well,
not like crazy
When we have a
enough.
good winter, we're gonna have you up.